Yo, what's up? What's up? What's
What
up?
up? We're
What's
back.
going on? We're back again with another breakdown with the Clock Brothers. I'm
Yes,
Wes, he's
sir.
Hev, and we going to get this in, man. We back again for yet another week of our power breakdown for episode 2, season 3, episode 2.
Yes,
And we're
sir.
gonna do a little recap again.
Uh,
Anyway,
epi-
last week, this
Episode two,
episode
which is called this was Need or
Need versus
Greed.
greed, yeah.
Need
Need
versus
or greed.
greed.
Yeah, yeah. So which is once again what you pointed out in one of the last ones we did, that they like to always use their uh the screen
Yeah,
the
lesson.
class the
The
last
class
lesson,
lesson.
yeah. The class lesson to kind of express. I like that pattern that's one pattern I like that the writers has established with this
Right.
show. They give you that point where it's not just action, 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 or whatever, whatever. It gives you that little point where it's kind of calm. Everyone is in the classroom. You get a chance to see some of the other background actors or the supporting actors. Everybody
Right.
gets a line in that scene, and they go back and forth. And I love, what I really like about it the most. It shows the intelligence of these young black students. Most of them are black. Some are,
Yeah, I like that.
different. It shows their intelligence because they're all intelligent if they're at Stansfield. So they're
Right.
obviously intelligent to even be able to make it in there. They're intelligent and rich, either both or either or. That's how you get into Stansfield. Either being
Right.
rich or intelligent or both. So I like that. So this, as we know, last episode had everybody, buzzing. This is only the
Everybody in
second
a
episode.
chokehold. There's only the second episode.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that the first episode we got to find out that Lauren was still alive.
Yeah.
So we knew, as we said last week, we said get ready, prepare for episode two, and I said it's going to come on with Lauren explaining
Hmm.
what happened to Lauren, and that is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
The first scene right out the gate.
Yeah.
They're showing that Lauren was on the machine. She
Yep.
woke. She came out of it. She was unconscious. She came out of it. Jenny asked her, "Hey, how you doing?" She asked where she was. Told her the hospital, and then
Yeah.
Jenny, good job by Power, but not going she doesn't remember, and then we gotta wait 4 episodes for her memory to start coming back.
Yeah. First of all, that's an old Hollywood trope that I just was praying they did not go down that road. As a writer, I was praying they didn't go. That is a typical Hollywood trope.
Right.
Oh, I got into this tragic accident. I can't remember. That's soap opera stuff. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Oh, I have no memory. I can't remember you
Yeah,
after
yeah,
after
yeah.
all. Yeah, that's soap opera stuff, man. That's
Right.
that's that's it's such a Hollywood trope. It's soap opera-ish. So
Right.
I'm
So
so happy that they
but they
they
didn't go
didn't
that
do that.
route. Lauren said, "Oh, I remember that Effie girl tried to kill me."
That
Jenny also,
Effie girl,
right?
that's hilarious.
Jenny said, "Well, you admit yourself that you don't really remember." She said, "I remember that she tried to kill me." Then when Jenny said there was somebody, we have reason to believe someone else was working with her. She said, "Yeah, Braden."
Yeah. So
So
that, yeah, exactly. So that's kind of like what we're talking about here when she wakes up,
right. and
whatever.
then and then she shows, Jenny shows her picture of Tariq, and Lauren
Right.
is like, "Nah, I have no proof that Tariq was working with those people."
Right.
Right, and then
Exactly.
so that to me, tell you how I took it, and you said, "But to me, that lets me know." Which I was one of those people who were never calling Lauren a snitch. I was one
Yeah.
of those people who was saying, "Look, Lauren got manipulated into
In the
snitching."
snitch.
That's the
Exactly.
only reason why
And
Lauren
that's why
thought
she brought that
she was
up. She
getting
said that.
information for on Braden,
Mm-hmm.
not Tariq.
Mm-hmm. But some people say, "Whoa, well, she was snitching on Braden." She don't know Braden
I
nothing.
know you know Braden, so what?
Screw. So what? So that's why she said to Jenny Sullivan, "Last time y'all said that to me, that's why I'm in this trouble in the first place. I
Exactly.
listened to one of you people
Yep.
and tried to help you,
Right.
And that's why I was in this in the first place. Speaking of Braden, this is where that dude, Noma's dude, walks up into the warehouse, tells them, okay, blah blah blah. Yeah, he's just this guy just can't wait to shoot one of these guys, or
Right.
all
He
of them.
comes in, and you'll know Tariq
He,
is
he, he
saying
he's
the
starting
guy
to
is
sound a little pathetic though.
yeah.
When you fail, you're just gonna fail. Well, wait till that
Well,
happens.
wait till we fail.
Wait till we
Right?
fail.
We ain't
You
failed
gotta
yet.
wait. You
Basically,
gotta wait.
Norma went off to Paris, France for business, and you have to watch over them. Oh, I don't know why she's giving you a chance. Well, you just got to wait and find out. Tariq lets him know your word obviously don't mean much to her because here we are, and
Yeah.
he basically tells Tariq he can't wait until Tariq mess up. He's going to shoot him. Tariq's being sarcastic, saying he thinks he messed with them on the low.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, on the low,
but
he messed with the F with us. Yeah,
yeah,
shut up,
right.
Tariq.
And
He
they,
trying to be funny. He be
yeah, he's
sarcastic,
trying to
being
be funny,
funny.
right?
You know what I'm saying? So trying to be funny in a serious moment, but try to break the ice a little bit because this guy just basically threatened all their lives again.
Right.
So
Basically, if you don't sell everything in this warehouse, you are dead.
yeah,
So
they trying to make it. They gonna be so surprised that they flipped all this money, all of this drugs.
yep.
You know what I'm saying?
So
They try to move the goalposts later in the
Once
season.
once again, Jenny is back with Sax. Sax is trying to coax Jenny into the bed by bringing her coffee that said sex on it instead of Sax. Sax with his tricks. She ain't buying it. You still ain't got no evidence. I ain't getting wet because you ain't got no evidence.
Yeah.
So she's basically telling him, "Get me something I can work with. If you say you're the man that you say you are, get me something I can work with."
She
So
really play. I think
she's
she's
playing.
really
Yeah,
just
she's
playing
playing. So I
him.
don't think she's
I don't
ever
think she
given him
has
nothing
any
again.
intentions of giving
She's
him
done
any
with him
more.
after what he did to her. After he betrayed her and let Tariq
Hmm.
that recording that caused her that
Yeah.
case.
Yeah.
Um,
She has
she's
no
not messing with
intentions
him.
of giving him anything else. He
Right.
is done. He ain't getting no more of that. So
Right.
he think he is, but he ain't.
Basically, the Democrat, Steve Ott, I think it's Steve Ott,
AKA Steve Young.
aka Steve Young, is back in the place to be. One of my favorite
Mm.
characters, ironically, and he's basically telling Rashad, you definitely didn't spend no
Your
budget on the
campaign
office.
sucks.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
campaign sucks. This office sucks. When everything sucks about Rashad. He basically says, "Get yourself a wife too, and please don't let it be the intern."
Yeah.
This time. So Rashad is going to have to work on. He's got to turn his campaign up a notch, um, and work on that because he is losing right now, losing big. Then, of course, after that, they go back to what was the next scene? The next scene was they're in the office, I believe, and this is I didn't really understand this part, at first. They're playing the whole race card thing. You got the girl Kiki, Kiki. You got the girl Kiki, and she who Braden's working with, and there's an intern in there, and somehow or another, I think she comes in and smacks him and wakes him up because he's not paying attention, whatever. Somehow or another, Braden ends up planting uh some sort. What
Tiki
was that?
Torch. He planted basically
The
the
racist
racist
way
the
started
racist
skit.
starter kit. Yeah, the racist starter kit. Tiki Torch. Something like they said he was on his on his web. He was on web pages for alt right stuff.
Yeah,
What was it? Some
yeah.
Proud Boy
AKA
shit.
QAnon, the
QA9
Proud
Proud Boy
Boys.
stuff like that. And a Tiki Torch. That is the racist starter kit.
Right.
Yeah. So um
Yeah,
and
they
he
end up
basically
they end
went
up saying they find that he says that is not his. His plant. You guys are planting that on me, and wait till my dad finds out and whatever.
once again
And
another spoiled prick
right,
little kid. Even though he didn't do it, but he was a jerk anyway. Yeah,
and he was a
so
jerk. So Kiki finds out she knows that Braden did it, that turns her on so much that she takes him up to some secret room that even he don't even know about. And it's his parents' building, and then they start getting it on in the room because nobody can see. Now I don't know what Braden did so quickly to
Mhm.
turn this woman on, but whatever
And
he did, all of a sudden she's turned on to Braden.
and first of all, they get in the elevator and she starts kissing him. There's always cameras in elevators.
Exactly.
Why would she
No,
do that?
exactly.
That doesn't make sense. Now you know damn well there's a camera in that elevator.
Yeah.
So somebody could see that. The person who's in security is sitting right there
And
watching.
right there watching it.
He's like, oh,
So
here we go.
so they go and do it up on this floor.
So
Um,
Gianni gets a little sex scene. Okay, well he had one last
right.
season too. But Gianni gets to get a sex scene with a sister. But he had one last season with that other chick with Sax's. Was it with Sax sister? I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
niece,
yeah.
niece,
Yeah,
with
with
Sax
Riley.
niece. Yeah,
Right. I think that was season one that he had
that's it. Yeah.
with season. But you have then of course, they quickly switch to the college dorm where they're going
Mm,
over they're going over streets, and then Diana gets what reaches out to the TA because
mm,
Effie said the TA usually has books that can help you with, because
mm,
Diana can't afford books, or the
mm.
Tahada can't afford books.
She can't. That's what the guy said to her. He's like, "How you got a Balenciaga bag, but you can't afford the books to go in? How about
Right,
selling that bag?
right,
You
right.
sell that bag. You
But
have enough to get
but
all the books you need."
all these people are walking around with $1,000 clothes. You see that gray coat Tariq had on? The
Yeah,
bad coat. I like to beat
as
him
a
out in that
bad guy, like
coat.
to beat
That was
about
a
that
bad
coat.
coat,
But
boy.
that's what I'm
That boy
saying.
had
This
on
nigga, this dude always dressed
Louis
clean.
Vuitton down.
Always dressed clean. I don't know how he get all these clothes. I guess that's what he does with his money because he's always broke. So I guess
Right.
he
And he ain't
buys
got no
clothes.
car note.
He got no colors here. And here's a scene that it's on right now where he finds out he doesn't have that internship with Tate.
Right, because
That's where
he
it's at.
finds that out. Now at this time we show there he shows up and light skinned Keisha's there.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I was gonna ask, I don't
I
think
like to
they'll
call
do
her
it because of
brown
the age.
skin Keisha.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if they'll do it because of the age gap. Don't tell me Tate gonna end up clapping them cheeks.
No,
It,
well,
it,
that's what Steve Young said to him. He said, "Don't let it be the intern," because he was saying he was like, "Look, you got to find yourself a wife. Nigga, they got to find him a wife." He was like, "I'm working on it." Yeah, but don't let it be the intern. So he already put a
right.
needle in that.
I
He
but
already
but
messed that up.
I believe I know who Tate's gonna probably try to get is that wife, but we'll talk about that another time. Um, so basically,
This
after
guy,
you had
this is
yeah,
how you know
after
this
that,
guy is a fraud. This guy just gonna pop up with a wife out of nowhere.
right?
Yeah, this guy, man. Are you
So
serious?
then we have next thing,
Tejada back at
yeah, the
the
back at the
Tejada.
Tejada house. Lorenzo is telling Kane, oh, he don't trust him. He's got to win his trust back, and if you want to win the trust of the family back, then go find who killed Zeke. Well, he's looking at who killed Zeke, sir. You.
Yeah. You're looking at it. Tell you how you got to figure that this isn't gonna be able to go on for too long. This guy doesn't know what
Right.
he's doing. I mean, not with this type of stuff. He is shook to the core. All
Right.
right, he's shook to the core. He doesn't know what to do. As we I think we did mention that he's going to try to set something up to try to take the heat off of him.
Uh-huh.
So we know he's chewing Kane out as usual.
Right. Trying to keep everything
Always
like
talking to
regular.
Kane in Spanish and stuff, trying to, chew him out. I don't know if he does that because you know what? As funny as it sounds, I don't think Monet knows Spanish.
Mm,
I don't think she speaks it because I've never seen her speak. They've never spoken to her. They only speak it to him.
right.
None of the kids
So
ever spoke Spanish to
now
her.
the
She
next
probably
scene.
knows a little bit from being around so long.
Right. Now the next thing I believe Evelyn shows up at the home, and you hear her talking to Lorenzo. Lorenzo saying Frank was like a brother. Man, that kind of shocked me because I thought that was really his brother.
Yeah, I thought that was
Um,
really his brother because they were calling him Uncle Frank. But yeah, he said he was like a brother to me. So and plus it's Castile, not what you
right.
call it, not
Tejada.
Tejada. So Uncle Frank. Now who is she? She's just Uncle Frank's
Wife.
wife. She's not related to the Tejadas. She just uncle. She was just Frank's wife.
Right.
So
Just
she's
Frank's
part
wife.
of the Castilla family. Yeah, she tries to talk to her, and that's my homegirl from New York Undercover and from Dexter,
Yep. Lauren Velez.
Lauren Velez. Shout out to her. Always still looking good. Um,
And
yeah.
remember in season one, she came back and told Monet,
Mhm,
Lorenzo may be in trouble when he comes home. He better watch his back. And
mhm,
she would never wish that death on anybody. Monet's coming back with some passive aggressive. Oh well, that's the game and stuff like that. Well,
mhm.
how did Monet? How'd that work out for you? Is it still
Right.
just the game? So
And she
because it's
tries
just
to
a
pay
game, how
her
come you're
some
not
money
popping up
back.
and going on about your business and carrying on with
Yeah.
business? It's just a game.
Yeah. So she feels messed up because you got to also think her and Zeke ended on pretty bad terms. Like Zeke was
Zeke
ran
was
away
mad
from
at her.
her, was mad at her, so she feels super 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 guilty
Yep.
right now. Because of all that stuff, and that's why she mad. That's why she's so mad at Diana.
Diana, because she
I
feels
say
those
that
she
was
feels those
Diana
Diana's fault. The whole thing's
blew
Diana's
blew
fault.
her whole shit up. Diana blew her stuff up in front of everybody. Got Zeke all crazy. Zeke runs away. That's the last time she saw Zeke alive. Was when he left the
Right.
house. So that was it for that. So she's just miserable. So
Now,
that was them talking.
yeah. Now the next scene looks like Braden is
Yeah.
still trying to convince Tariq to run drugs through Weston
Mhm.
Holding. This
Okay.
dude, no. First, he's trying to convince him of that, right? But then he's saying, "Oh, you don't have an internship. Why don't you come intern at Weston Holdings?" Now,
Yeah.
how is Tariq St. Patrick going to
Yeah.
intern at Weston Holdings after Braden pretty much admitted that I've been selling drugs with Tariq
Hmm.
through college, and I've been doing it with Tariq, and I ain't never known to sell no drugs until I met Tariq St. Patrick.
Yep.
And Tariq St. Patrick, of course, we all know the name. We all know who he's related to. So, but Braden says he should be able to get an internship there with no problem.
Right. He's like, oh, his internship just opened up, and conveniently, and
Conveniently.
yeah, why don't you start here? He's just like, look, man, we're not gonna be selling no drugs. I'm just gonna do it because it's a good look for me, being in
Right.
something. So he's, oh, okay. They get to have a nice little bonding moment, and this scene was pretty important because they established that they think of each other as family. And he's like,
Right.
we're your
She said,
family.
Reek, we're your family. We're
We're
your
your
only family.
family, this, that, and the other. So, now that's when Braden's like, yo, we gotta tell him.
Right.
We
Well,
gotta tell him about
Braden feels
Lauren.
kind of bad. He's like, you're family. So, but if we're family, we need to be telling him the truth.
She
Effie
said,
pretty much says, pretty
no,
makes a pretty good point. At this point, what would it serve him finding out now?
right.
You know,
Finding out now, we
so
did what we, because we're family, we did what we had to do to protect him.
right.
Because of Lauren, if Lauren was alive, which they think she's still dead, they still think she's dead. If Lauren was alive, then he's in trouble. He'd be in jail probably.
Yep. He's been jamming us.
All
So
be in jail.
all of them. So they pretty much Effie, even though it's foul what she did, Effie is looking at the big picture and saying Tariq, loves that. This is the reason why she's trying to get everybody away from Tariq. She knows that Tariq loves Lauren. She's
Hmm.
just hoping that enough time
Hmm.
away and
That's why it was easy for her to
her
kill Lauren.
her
I
keep
don't think
re-innovating to him.
right.
Look, she was bad for business.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
don't think Effie that might have been Effie's first body.
may have
Like
been
it was easier for her to kill Lauren, or at least think she killed Lauren, because she wanted Lauren out the picture anyway.
right.
And she loves Tariq enough. Because remember, we know that episode, you could tell she had fallen in love with him. I remember Courtney Kemp pointed out, oh, listen to the song. And that episode, that last episode of season 3 or season 2, well, what it was the second to last episode when she seemingly killed Lauren, and she comes and gets back in the bed with Tariq. The song that was playing was basically like a song that explains that I was a guarded person. I used to think, whatever, whatever. Now I'm kind of like open to you and, love you or whatever.
Right.
So that's pretty much what the song
Right.
was saying,
Right.
so that was signifying. I think that was the moment really solidifying that that Effie was in love with Tariq.
Right. So now at this point, we're just going to zoom through the most important points in the episode. Basically, in this episode, we got Drew getting beat up. Everyone already had figured out that Lorenzo was probably set that up. Turned out
Hmm.
Lorenzo did set it up.
Yeah,
Kane pretty much, because Kane went around doing his snooping, finding out on his own what happened at Mecca's hangar, and then the guys that he was torturing end up giving him a description of of Lorenzo. Pretty
basically.
much bald headed, big
Uh-huh.
butterfly collar. He said big collar, you know,
Yeah,
bald headed guy. You know what I mean? So with a busted tail light. And as soon
what's
as
his
he
tail
said
like?
that,
Yeah,
right away Kane knew that Lorenzo at one point had a busted tail light.
yeah.
Um, you have Lauren pretty much, which we didn't go over in the beginning. Lauren wants to go home. Like she's over it already.
Hmm.
She's like, I got to at least tell my family. But Jenny convinces her, and against her will, she starts crying. I feel bad for Lauren. She just wants to get out of there. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
she
But
doesn't realize how dangerous it is, though.
yeah, she's dangerous. So
You should
you know,
realize you just literally almost lost your life.
right?
So you
You know
really
that
should
that's for a
realize
reason.
that if you get out of there, you're once again a target.
Right. I'm trying to think, the other stuff far as Everett, Everett decided because Drew didn't show up at his draft.
Mm,
Um, his draft, yeah, he didn't show up at his
yeah,
draft, so he said, you know what, I'm
I'm
out of
out.
here. Don't follow me, this, that, and the other. So,
Which
and
sends
on
Drew
top of
on
that,
a
he
on
knows
a,
Drew's
a, a
family's in the drug
mean
game,
streak.
right? He
Yeah.
knows families, and so he
Now
don't really want to be a part of it.
Drew is acting like my man from Paid in Full. Anybody who owes me money, he's ready to just
Right,
kill something because he
right.
mad because he lost his love of his life.
That
Loves to lose his love of his life. Now he want to hurt something.
Now you want her
Now,
to run
now
and,
your
and,
man.
and run and push the guy. Now Tariq was going to have him do him anyway because
Yeah,
that's the trainer. So he
yeah.
pushes him in the street. So now,
There's
see,
nobody.
Tariq
There's
has
no.
already decided. Now, after Braden set it up, so Tariq goes into the conference room and sees everybody doing coke. And
Hmm.
then Braden's explaining to him after he said no drugs on campus. But then he set it up for Tariq to see it for himself. And
Yeah.
now he has agreed to sell drugs on Stanfield. I mean, I'm going to sell drugs at Western Holdings. So they had to get rid of the guy who's already the pusher, which is the trainer, the trainer. So that's the reason why Drew pushed this guy in the street, because now he gets rid of the pusher, and now these guys need somebody to sell, to get drugs from. And this sets up Braden, Tariq, and Effie.
Hmm.
Oh boy, how convenient! I'll tell you, these guys run into most convenient situations I've ever seen for drug dealers. Um, we also notice. Why do you think we're gonna break down? Why is Effie seemingly getting distant from Tariq?
Yeah, we'll go over that. We'll just get in a second. She definitely getting this, but Effie's character, the way they are developing her, and we have a whole nother video that really explains what our true feelings and thoughts was about Effie and other characters. You can catch that once it comes out. We'll talk about it, but Effie's character is she's the if she's the need when you call about need versus greed. she's definitely a need. She's someone who does this out of need, now not out of greed. She
Mhm.
really just uses it to survive all the way back from Choate. She did it to pay her way through Choate, which is
Right.
why she dropped the dime on Tariq and stuff because she knew
He was
Tariq
cutting
was
into
doing
her
it as a
money.
hobby, and it was a
Yeah.
hobby for him.
Right.
Tariq was the same. That's why Braden and him get along because Tariq was the same as Braden,
Right.
privileged kid who just wanted to learn the street game for whatever reason. Braden don't really care about learning the street game. He just likes the thrill of
Exactly. Oh, something
selling
that I'm
drugs.
actually good at. And Braden actually bust Tariq's bubble when in season 2 when he said, "Yo, Rick, you'll mess around and get somebody killed out here, B."
Hmm.
He's like, you think this is a game? And then he said something along the line, Braden, you're a Weston, you don't have to do that. And then he said, cut the crap, Tariq. You're a privileged kid too. You just
Yeah.
like me. So,
Yeah.
so just because I'm I'm rich privileged in another way, your parents are also rich,
Yeah.
and
Your
you don't
parents
have
is
to be
rich.
doing that.
Right. And she says that because she knows ever since she's known Tariq, ever since Effie's known Tariq, he's had money. And he may not have money right now, but he's got money coming to him. All he really has to do is finish school.
That's it.
So I mean, she ain't got no inheritance waiting for her. And
Right.
she's already thinking about putting it together and getting out the game. Just enough. She wants to hustle enough to pay her way through college, maybe grad school, and get out. That's she's because think about it. Effie's thinking like she get through school, then she'll be able to because she's very smart, so she'll be
Mhm.
able to get a 6 7 figure job. She don't want to do this forever. She really does it out of need. So that goes back to the episode, need and
Right.
greed, you know. And even in that classroom, Tariq tried to justify and compare need to greed, by
I
saying,
see.
well, greed is kind of like it's the same thing. The more money you get, the more need that you have for it and stuff like that. I'm paraphrasing, but he's basically trying to justify the greed part.
Hmm.
It is greed. You're doing it for greed.
Right.
It's no other. Now Braden's doing it for neither. He's doing it for thrill. He doesn't need
Mm.
to do it. He's not doing it for the need of it, and he's not doing it for the greed of it. He's doing it for the rush.
Right.
You know.
Now, as the climax of the show, the big reveal on the show is that these two numbnuts, uh, uh, Blanca Rodriguez and Jenny Sullivan, Frick and Frack, they got
Hmm.
nothing. They're doing all this. She's got
Still got
Lauren.
nothing.
She's got Lauren. She's got this board up there, this Ouija board up there with all these faces and pictures. They got nothing.
Yeah,
So
nothing.
she's coming down on Kevin. What's Kevin's name?
Something with
Whitman.
Whitman.
She's coming
Yeah.
down on Whitman, and he comes in and says, "Listen here, this is
Just
the real
just
deal."
getting ready to getting in trouble, trying to get him in trouble, and he
Right.
comes in here and basically, bl- keeps their
Right.
case from blowing up
All
because
right.
they
Yep.
they were about to get shut down.
He
They
said,
about to
"This is the
shut
real
down
deal.
their whole
You're
ish.
you're focusing on Tariq. It ain't Tariq,
Yeah.
And this is just what Sax had just told her in the previous scene. Sax said they're not going to believe that it's Tariq, and she said,
Right.
"Oh, he's been groomed to do this. You really think that LeBron James? You're surprised that LeBron James' son can dunk a basketball? I
Right.
mean,
He's like,
but
that's kind of racist.
right, but
He's
but
like,
this
yeah,
guy."
kind of racist.
This guy is saying it's Monique Tejada. He lets Jenny know about Tejada knowing Rivera, the cop. They found Rivera's card. Freaky Zeke, he gave him the card where and then he tried to lie to Whitman on how he knew him. But
Mhm.
Whitman pretty much figured it out, and he says he believes that Rivera was smashing Monet Tejada, which he was, and so they're basically saying, "Hey, this is our Rico with Monet Tejada at the helm," and basically she is thanking Whitman, saying, "Hey, maybe you being so stubborn, it's gonna pay off in the end." So they're now their camp or whatever, they're going to sign
They
off
actually,
on
yeah, they're gonna
going
actually
after
get
Rico.
a
Now they
green
actually
lit.
have somewhat of a
Right.
case.
They're gonna get a green lit for their little uh bull crap task force.
Rico.
Yeah, their bull crap task force that was almost never gonna happen
Right,
because like you said, they wanted to join a local and federal task force trying to create a RICO. They got all these things up here. They got a bunch of pieces to the puzzle, ain't connected one. Ain't
right.
connected one. All these pieces of you. It's just like if you have a puzzle out on your floor and you can't know where to start.
Now, what I believe going forward is going to happen is now. Remember, Sachs told Jenny about Whitman. Look into him.
Mm-hmm.
Now that Whitman is telling Jenny information, she's going to lay off of Whitman. And then
Mm-hmm.
Sachs is going to be saying, "Hey, what about Whitman? What's going on with Whitman?" She might even start mentioning she's going to start hanging out with Whitman now. And whenever she speaks to Sachs, she's going to be saying, "Well, you know what? Whitman's off, okay, blah 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 blah." She's going to be going light on Whitman now, and Sachs is going to be getting upset because now why all of a sudden are you going light on
Mm-hmm.
this guy?
Yeah.
She may even start having lunch with him or
You
discussing the
might start
case
banging
and the other.
Whitman.
I believe
Might
I
even
believe
start
I
banging
believe
him.
she's gonna start banging Whitman, and I believe that's gonna send um
Hey.
Sachs into a spin, and then
Yeah.
God only knows. You know what happens to Cooper Sachs whenever he gets in his feelings, whenever
Yeah.
somebody
He
does
start
something to
grabbing
him.
guns again. He'll start
That's
grabbing guns again like he always does.
like he
Go ahead
always
and
does,
go.
being dirty. You
Yeah, that's what
know,
he does. Because let's keep it on. Let's keep it real. Whitman is bringing her evidence that makes her horny. He said turns her into a freak. Evidence.
yep.
So and Whitman's bringing her evidence and don't even realize it. And we all know Whitman knows about freaks.
He was involved with Carrie,
He
so
was
he
involved.
knows
He was
about
involved with
freaks.
Carrie, so he know he can handle the freaks.
Right. So, basically this the episode pretty much ended with Kane. They had found a guy, they framed some guy that, one of the guys that Lorenzo had beat up Drew. They go and frame some guy from the Guaps, and you know, he was basically saying Lorenzo pulled a and hit him when the guy said, "I was paid to beat up Drew." The guy Lorenzo goes and punches the guy. Oh yeah, of course he's gonna lie. He's trying to save his own ass. Just another. Lorenzo, you were trying to save your ass. Kane
Yeah,
Britsy pretty much did not buy it. He let Monet shoot the guy anyway, to make her happy. Monet saying, "Oh, clean the body up," this, that, and the other. So they're putting the body in the trunk. Lorenzo tells him, "Good job," and Kane basically says, you may have fooled Monet, but they ain't fooling me. I feel great now knowing that you killed Zeke." Then he pretty much breaks down to Lorenzo. Lorenzo still tried to deny it at first. Breaks down to Lorenzo. Look, dog, Zeke never wore that ring. He
hmm
never wore that ring at all. I even checked his IG. He never wore that ring that day. He said, I'm going to assume it came from the bag that Monique can't bring herself to open up. Said, so you planted that when you had this guy kill Zeke.
yeah,
I mean, when you had him beat up my brother. And then after he says you're crazy, Kane says, well, "Let me run it by Monet. Tell that she's crazy." Then he had to come out and went clean. Told Kane he made a mistake. He was just trying to protect his family like he always will, and
hmm
he would never ever hurt. And the funny thing is, Lorenzo's telling the truth. He did
yeah,
shoot him on by mistake,
yeah.
and
He
he
telling
would
the
he
truth.
would never go and kill Zeke, even after he found out that Monet cheated on him. Had Zeke, he would never go and kill Zeke, knowing how
He
much
know
I would
that
hurt Monet.
he know that would hurt Monet.
Right?
He is telling the truth about that, but Kane is just like, I don't care what it is. You try to, yeah,
And he said this makes
I
it even
should
more
be the one on
stupider than
top.
before.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
knows he should be. He feels he should be the kingpin. He should be next in line. He just feels like Kane always feels like, yeah, and this is another thing when we do our Kane story. He always feels slighted by Lorenzo.
right.
You know what I mean? Because
He
why
said you saying
Lorenzo?
I wasn't ready,
Yeah,
but this gay guy's ready, but Drew's ready. Like so and Drew can't even. Yeah. Drew is a dangerous man when he's focused. But when he's focused on Ev, this guy's a cream puff. You know what I mean? So he pop tart. He's soft whenever Ev has his attention, he can't get down to business. But Drew has had some of the most violent scenes.
yeah,
You know, so he's always felt slighted, and he said, "You always try to make me seem like I ain't ready, but you not ready for me." And basically, Kane said, "I own you because I know the
mm,
truth. And now,
yeah.
now about them drugs you gonna be selling for me,
Get out there, move them. Get out there, move
right?"
these drugs ASAP. Like I
So
said.
now Lorenzo is going to be forced to move drugs for Norman, who he said he did not want to move drugs for.
Yeah,
But,
Kane got
because
his
of
ass to the
Kane
store.
finding out, and that's how episode 2 ended. So the big
Mhm.
points, we found out what happened to Lauren.
Yep,
Kevin, oh, these to me, these are my big takes, my big takeaways. Found out what happened to Lauren, and Lauren wants out.
yep,
Whitman snooping around, but he comes up, as Jenny is saying, you're gonna get in trouble. He comes up with more. The story sounds more life we put together from him than Jenny and Blanca Rodriguez could ever tell.
yep.
Um, uh, Braden manipulates Tyreek into Tariq into selling drugs after he stated he
Hmm.
did not want to sell drugs right now,
Yep.
and he's selling drugs out of Western Holdings on top of that.
Yeah.
And we found out that he also manipulated and went
Manipulated.
behind his back and got with Tate, and
Right.
so he can set this whole thing up. And
Yep.
then, of course, we find out that um, Kane knows that Lorenzo killed Zeke.
Hmm.
So it was a pretty good show. Like I said, nothing close to the first show, but when
But
you
it's
have a
it's good.
great
It's
show like
good
that,
story building so
yeah,
far.
it's good
They
story
they
building.
they they're setting up. It's funny. Someone else brought this up before, and I thought about it too. They're like, they little things. People was like, why are they showing that when Monet was watching the court show? They like, could they be foreshadowing Monet ending up in court
Right.
before? Because but yeah, they're doing some pretty good story building right now. I think that uh, this guy just really kind of upped the ante, but I think eventually Kevin's gonna get got because he's just
Mm.
too aggressive. He's too aggressive. And last time that every
Yeah,
aggressive
yeah,
cop
yeah. And
gets killed.
we didn't even mention he rolled up on Monet. We forgot to leave that
Yeah,
out. He rolls
yeah,
up on Monet, and the funny thing is, Monet can usually get the F out of here. Everybody, she wasn't getting the F out of here. Whitman. Whitman was basically saying, "I'm on you. I'm coming for you, and I'ma keep coming." And she basically said, of course, you got nothing, because if you did, you'd have me a cuss right now. So get the F out my face. Instead of another, he breaks her when he said, "I pulled you over for a broken light." So then after he's getting ready to leave, he elbows her rear view mirror and breaks it even more
yeah.
and says, "Have a nice day. Get your mirror fixed," or what have you. So Whitman is not going away. And like I said, we'll do another video so we can let you know what we think is going to happen moving forward to Whitman, whether we think he'll survive, whether he will, what's happening with Sax. Are we watching the final days of Sax and Jenny Sullivan and their little love triangle? Like I said, Sax kind of put a dent in it last year. He probably sealed his fate with her at the end of last season because he caused her a case, made her look stupid, humiliated her, and now he still wants to sleep with her. That's not going to happen, sir. So basically we're seeing the kind of the changing of the guard, so to speak, that what I believe, but we'll go over that in the video. So we just want y'all to know, what was your big takeaway from this episode? I gave you some. What was yours?
Yeah.
I gave you some of mine. What was some of
I
your takeaways?
right. And I want to add for my takeaways from the show is uh basically, like I said, I think Effie is I think she's still on the path. I'm sticking with my guns. I think she's still on the path to becoming a possible CI for
Right.
them. I think they're gonna put the pressure on her because now that it's confirmed that right now she's not the CI, and it's
Right.
confirmed
And she
that
thought she
she
killed
doesn't
Lauren.
know. Right, she thought she killed Lauren, so that part has been confirmed, obviously, and because of that, now I believe, and because Lauren remembers it's her, and basically
Exactly.
already said it was her.
She's gonna know that
Eventually, she's
Lauren
gonna,
remembered.
right. Eventually, they're gonna put to put the pressure on her because, like I said before, and I will still say this: yes, I was wrong about Sax not being the quote unquote CI, but I will repeat this again: a CI, a true CI, is someone that they could put pressure on. Sax is doing it because he wants to get in the sacks with with Jenny. A
Right.
CI is usually a criminal that's within, that's already in the mix, or someone that they got something over where they could pressure them to give them information.
Right.
So that they need a true CI, whether that be Effie or not. I think it will, but I also think that Effie has a greater arc coming that's going to involve her maybe turning, but also kind of like doing something to save Tariq because she loves him. So
Right.
that's my overall takeaways, at least from this episode, from the the way she's acting distant and stuff like that. I think she's just gearing herself up because she doesn't know anything yet about Lauren. But I mean, once again, it kind of goes to her character. She's always been a loner. She's always
Right.
taking care of herself. So, even with her she wouldn't even let Tariq buy water for her. He tried to
Right.
pay for her water. She's like, I got it. Got my own. Like, so that's what she did. That's just showing like Effie's trying to they really trying to show in the writing that Effie is a survivor.
Right.
She's a survivor. By her cutting it looked like she was stepping on that coat too, the way she was putting it together. But um, she was cutting and putting that coat together and made a little own pack for herself
Right. It looked like
because
she
that's
got a
what.
plan B. It looked like she's getting ready. She
Hmm.
made her own app, went and coded her own app. What was it said? Instead of
Course
course correct,
perfect.
course perfect.
Course
And
perfect.
Effie was supposed to be delivering to the Ivy League schools. She had one for Stanfield. So keep that in mind. That's another thing. She had one for Stanfield, and they are not supposed to be dealing drugs on Stanfield. But Effie has other plans.
Yeah.
So, and of course, Kane continues to try to push up on Effie. Kane, wants to sleep with Effie. He's like, he likes Effie. He wants to take Effie from Tariq, or just wants what
Hmm.
Tariq has. You know,
Yeah.
uh, you know that I can't wait for the day for that showdown. That showdown's been brewing since season 1, episode 1.
Hmm.
He's
Yeah.
never he's tried to frame Tariq. He planted the badge in his room. And now all of those things are gonna come back. And remember,
That's gonna
remember
come
Kane.
back.
Remember what Tariq said in season 2. I'm gonna kill Kane. Remember, people
Hmm.
forgot. People
He said
forgot
it.
that he said that.
He said, "I'm
He
gonna kill
said, "I'm
Kane."
just not now." He said, "Oh,
Yeah.
trust and
Oh,
believe. I'm going to kill Kane.
yeah. I'm gonna kill Kane, just not now. I can't
Right,
kill
just not
him now.
now. Can't kill him right
So
now."
that's what's up. I mean, it was a good episode, and y'all, like you said, comment down and tell us what you think about what's your takeaways from this episode. Where do you think these characters are going to, end up in the next few episodes for the rest of the season? We know you got 10 episodes, so there's 8 to go. I think I like the pace of it. It's moving pretty good.
Yeah, moving pretty good so far.
It's moving
After
pretty
first
good.
two episodes, that's pretty good. Can't wait to see
Yeah.
what goes on next week. Like I said,
Yeah.
everybody comment below. We'll
Yep.
catch y'all on the next one. It's the Clark brothers for the breakdown. Having Clark, Wes Clark signing off. We'll catch y'all on the next one.
All right. Peace out.
Peace.